Welcome to today's Conversion Express, where in 15 minutes or less, you are going to learn a simple, doable strategy you can apply to your website in minutes to get more leads. That is exactly what your website should be doing for you. Now, to get into the topic for today, it is how to stop visitors from doubting your credibility. This is really important because if people doubt your credibility, they're not going to do business with you. They're not going to get on your lead magnet, your email list. They are not going to get on your calendar. So, have you ever really thought this? You might be aware of this, but not really deeply aware of it. And that is that people are making decisions about your credibility, about whether they like or trust you just by what they see about you online. Before they're having any kind of conversation with you, they're checking you out, right? And in other words, to put another way, most of the sales conversation is happening before you have a conversation with them. And that's only if after they have looked at you online and they have decided that, okay, I like you enough. I'm going to get on your email list. I'm going to get on your calendar. So, why is this important? In fact, if this darn thing will work, sorry about that, guys. So the average online conversion rate is very, very low. It's between 1 and 5%. So that means that for every 100 visitors to your website, only 1 to 5 of them are actually becoming a lead. And becoming a lead means they are getting on your calendar, they are getting on your email list. That's what a lead is, okay? And that means that how you are representing yourself online, what you're saying, what other people are saying about you matters a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Now, we know you probably heard about this, the know, like, and trust factors, which are important for people to move to the next step with you, where they go from being on the sidelines, an observer, to actually kind of getting in the ring with you. Okay. With knowing, trying to get as many people to know you as possible, you know you cannot get everyone to know you. It's impossible to have every single person that would be an ideal client for you to get to know you. That's just not possible. You also cannot force people to like you. They're either going to like you or they're not going to like you. And in fact, if you really try to work on know and like, if you just focus on those two things alone, you may end up doing things that could really undermine the trust part here. You don't want to do that because trustworthiness is the only thing that you have in your control. So we're going to talk about trustworthiness and how we're eventually going to get to your website on this too. So first, you probably know this. We could probably add more to the list, but essentially trust is gained through a lot of things about how we behave. So are we consistent in our behavior? Are we clear, open, and transparent in our communication? Do we seek to understand other people? Are we competent in what we do? Do we empathize with people? Are we respectful to other people? And do we have integrity? And so, as you notice, a lot of these things here, like I said, are behavioral things. They are things that we demonstrate when people interact with us day to day. Except there is one thing, the competency thing here, that we can actually demonstrate on our website. Out of all of those 6 bullet points, competency is the one thing that we can show other people we know how to do this and we know how to do it well. And we really want to take advantage of that because you've heard me say this before, is that 100% of people coming to your website, they will always at least see on any page that they land on, the minimum they're going to see is that hero section, or in other words, whatever they see on the first screen. And that means this is really important real estate for your website. And this is where you want to place competency signals right there, because you want people to right away know you're really good at this. And that means that there's some direction in them being able to trust you more. So I'm going to show you some examples of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about competency signals. And I don't want you to just look at these passively and think, oh, that's nice. These are nice examples. Oh, isn't that great? I actually want you to ask yourself, which of these could I use on my website? Because these, what I'm going to show you, are very, very doable, simple things that you can add to your hero section of your website to get people to open up their heart a little bit more to you, to trust you a little bit more. Really, really important. So this first one, this is Hezi May Book Publishing, and she's got some fantastic trust signals going on her homepage. First thing, you get to see her. She has a beautiful picture of her. She looks friendly. She's smiling. She looks very approachable. And then off to be behind her on the right here, you see all of these books here that she has published with authors. So right away, it tells you she's got experience in this. But even more so, she's got this featured in banner below. And if you look through it, you'll probably recognize some of these brands. And so right away, that gets you to think she is competent in what she's doing. I can trust her. The next thing you might notice, this is Amy Porterfield over here. And though she's grayed out, she's not a prominent visual component of this. But when you land on her website, you know you're on Amy Porterfield's website. But the biggest competency signal that she gives is right here. Over 90,000 online business owners. So when we look at Hezi May, if I go back, and then we look at Amy Porterfield, are there logos you could put on websites? Your image probably should be on the header. Are there indications, visual indications you can give to show your competency? Or in Amy Porterfield's case, are there numbers you can give that are super impressive to show that you're competent? Here's another example. This is a company that helps people, mostly women, to get better jobs. And right away, our clients have landed roles here. This is in the header section, so the first thing you're going to see. And you recognize, well, I'm in Canada, so I definitely recognize TD and McGill University. And I'm sure globally people would recognize IBM. So that's impressive. It tells them, okay, so she has gotten people jobs. That's why I'm coming here. I want her to help me get a better job. Here's another example. So you may or may not know that this is Mike Michalowicz. If you don't know who he is, or you just kind of have heard the name but don't really know him very well, the minute you come to his header, or so his homepage, and you see the header, right away you see 6 books laid out beautifully. And these are all books that you're going to make the connection in your mind. He must have published these books, right? He wouldn't just put anybody's book on his website. They must be his books. And that right there is a competency signal. So are there books that you can put up that you have published or been part of in some way? Can you feature that in your hero section? Here's another example. This is StoryBrand, and they show their competency by talking about the top brands that they've worked with. And then they have a whole section below of all these logos of brands they've worked with, and some of which you'll probably recognize. But then they also add that they've worked with over 10,000 small businesses, that over 10,000 small businesses are using the StoryBrand framework. That is a competency signal. Can you do something like that? Or do you have impressive numbers with how many businesses you worked with? Or maybe there's specific logos that you know would be impressive, that people would recognize, that would show that you're competent. Here's another example. So again, human face, especially when it's your face that you're showing and you're smiling and you're friendly, that is a competency trust signal there. But maybe you could talk about how many years you've been doing your particular thing. If you're a health coach, or you're a business coach, or you're a roofer, and whatever it may be. Are there years of business you can put on your website? That is another competency signal. Here's another one. You probably recognize these two, Alex Hermosi and his partner, and I don't remember her name, but they right away we see them So that's a trust signal, just seeing their faces because they're pretty prominent on social media. But then the number is very impressive. I built a portfolio of 500 million in less than 4 years. That is definitely a competency signal. Could you do something like that? Is there something you've done that's pretty impressive in a short amount of time? Then talk about it. Put that in your header. Here's another one. So this competency signal here it's an artist, and she teaches how other people how to create impressive family portraits. And she has her artwork displayed in her header of her website and an image of her. She's smiling, she looks friendly, and she's holding one of the artworks that she has created. So that is a big competency signal. It tells us she knows what she's doing. Like, look at these beautiful pieces of art. She could teach me how to draw like that. And here, this is the last one. And this one is just screaming competency trust signals. First of all, they talk about how long they've been in business, which now is almost 30 years in business. They have all of these, and it's actually a banner that keeps rotating of all these certifications and awards they've won and things like that. So that means, wow, they're really good at what they do, that people want to recognize them for that. And then what they have is this isn't the only one. It's not a stationary Google review. It's actually, it'll go away and another one pops up, a new one pops up, comes down. So we've got a Google review with 5 stars, a face of the person who left the review, which is a trust signal. It helps us to associate the fact that this is a real person who left this review, along with her full name, and a testimonial. This is a huge, huge trust signal. And it shows us that they are competent. You come right to the homepage of their website, and honestly, it is screaming competency. So now that you know how to and why you should add competency signals, where to place them, I would love it if you would now check out this video here where we're going to talk about thank you pages. Thank you pages are an significantly underutilized tool to, again, further help people to trust you to do business with you. So go check that out.